So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 3 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today include Sony spending billions on PlayStation, new PlayStation 5 hardware release date confirmation, and The Last of Us Part 2 PlayStation 5 version potentially leaks with new content. First, yes or no, would you buy the PlayStation 5 version of The Last of Us Part 2 or not? Personally, I would need to see what changes because I didn't really like the story of Part 2, but the gameplay and graphics were top tier in that game in my opinion. If they throw a Factions 1 like mode in the package as well, I'll buy that thing at $70 full price. But that's just me. What about you guys? So comment below yes or no if you'd buy the PS5 version of The Last of Us Part 2 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now diving into the first story of the video, The Last of Us Part 2 PlayStation 5 version with new content. So for a while now, people have been waiting for a Directors Cut version of The Last of Us Part 2 similar to what Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding 2 got. Last of Us Part 2 already has a 60 FPS patch on PlayStation 5 and the game still looks amazing. But what this would probably do is something similar to the Uncharted collection for the PlayStation 5. Offer a 4K 30 FPS mode, a 1440p 60 FPS mode, and even a 1080p 120 FPS mode. I think that would be amazing with the gameplay in The Last of Us Part 2. If they want to take it even further in terms of the modes, they can offer a 4K 40 FPS mode as well, which is what I would probably be using outside the 120 FPS mode. Beyond that, you also have improved textures, improved LOD, higher detail in the environment, the DualSense support, which I really liked in the Uncharted collection, having both adaptive trigger and haptic support. They would also bring faster loading times to this thanks to the PlayStation 5 SSD, along with 3D audio as well, and probably other improvements. Beyond those, there could potentially be new content. In a recent interview, Gustavo Santaolalla, who composed the music for The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, seems to confirm that there is a Last of Us Part 2 remastered for the PlayStation 5. In a recent interview, Spanish interview with YouTube channel Blender, the interviewer talks about how he likes seeing a version of Gustavo in The Last of Us Part 2 in game. Gustavo replied essentially saying in the new version, you can actually go up to him and ask him to play certain songs. He then stops saying, I can't say anything else. This pretty much points to The Last of Us Part 2 Director's Cut or Remastered or whatever they want to call it. For me, I'm just surprised to see such a change for a Director's Cut. In the original, he just sits there playing, but in this new version you can ask him to play different songs. I'm curious, based off this, what else has changed with this version of the game, considering the show's second season seems to be put on hold because of the strike. Will Sony hold back the release of this? If not, Sony announced the Director's Cut of Ghost of Tsushima about a month and a half before its launch. Could that happen here as well? I guess we'll see. Now diving into the second story of the video, new PlayStation 5 hardware release date confirmed. Reading from Tech Times, Sony's PlayStation is set to launch a new device for the PlayStation 5, and it is the accessibility controller that would conform to all types of gamers and provide assistance to those that need it. It'll be available on December 6th, and while it's still months away, it already presents an important extension of the gaming experience for those with difficulties. The new Access controller will be available for $90, only $20 more expensive than the standard DualSense controller. It will feature a range of various caps and buttons to use. It has 19 buttons and 3 joystick configurations, including the standard, dome stick cap, and ball stick cap. There will also be 4 3.5mm expansion ports as well. Sony is also adding 23 more buttons that would be easily swappable for users as well. Sony said pre-orders will open next week, Friday, July 21st. So this is great for allowing gamers the chance to get more involved in gaming. Obviously, the price is surprising to me. I thought it would be more expensive, but $90 sounds pretty good. I probably won't be getting it myself, but it does drop on my birthday, which also happens to be December 6th. Now now that we have this launching in December and Project Q potentially dropping in November per reports, this probably leaves the PlayStation 5 Slim or PlayStation 5 with detachable disk drive launching sometime in September or October. I will note the reports do have it set to launch in September, and that hasn't changed from my understanding so far, so we'll see how it goes. But the fall hardware release schedule for PlayStation is starting to look a bit clearer. But you guys let me know if you're getting this accessibility controller or not. Let me know down in the comments below.
Wireless technology will deliver lossless audio with low latency, giving you outstanding sound quality while you're playing.
And now diving into the final story of the video, Sony spends billions. Reading from Push Square, a new report from Nikkei claims that Sony will be increasing its monetary investments into research and development sectors by around 10% this financial year to aid its push into the live service space. The investment will total around 300 billion yen, $2.1 billion US, and represents roughly 40% of the entire company's R&D costs for the financial year. In comparison, Sony's gaming sector spent 271 billion yen on R&D in its previous financial year, and then 144 billion yen the year before that. As such, this financial year's R&D expenditure represents a substantial increase over the past financial blocks. Having long relied on sales of its PlayStation game console, the company will now focus on live service games that lets consumers purchase add-ons for titles streamed online. The outlet claims Sony has already begun sharing what its live service future alongside traditional single-player games will look like, with the announcements of Fair Game and Concord during its most recent PlayStation showcase. So it seems clear that live service titles are becoming an important section of the PlayStation portfolio alongside its single-player games. I want to make that clear for some of you out there. Sony will still be producing great single-player titles alongside these online titles as well, which I'm for. I miss PlayStation multiplayer games. In the PlayStation 3 era, Sony was banging out great single-player titles along with multiplayer games as well, and it was a great period of time. I love that era. The PlayStation 4 era, they mainly focused on single-player juggernauts, which is great, of course, and in the PlayStation 5 era, it's looking like they might go back to what they did in the PlayStation 3 period, which is basically both of them, making great single-player titles and making great multiplayer titles as well. I just personally hope that Factions 2 is going to release, or at least get an update sometime soon. Give us at least a teaser trailer to have some hope on this one, Naughty Dog. Just please, anything, give me anything. But you guys let me know if you're excited for future multiplayer titles from PlayStation or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with Bring On the Weekend. The weekend is finally here. I'm excited to jump into some games, but realistically, I'm pretty busy this weekend, so I don't know how much time I have to play some games. But if I do, I'm going to be playing Dodgeball Academia. I'm going to be playing Oxenfree 2. Of course, Factions, as always, we'll always be playing Factions. And if you guys are going to be playing games this weekend, destroy the comment section with Bring On the Weekend, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.